I'm waiting for my cars to refuel in multiplayer 2. So I'm going to play some multiplayer 1 now. We're only a day and a half in though. The longer you wait, the quicker you can climb the leagues and get the points quicker. But I'll start now, because I imagine next week is Heatwave season finale, which is going to be is going to be just as time consuming as the multiplayer 2 this week. And there's tokens to get in multiplayer 1 that need to be harvested. And it's September the 11th today. 20 years since the towers. Keep thinking about where I was that day. I think everyone that was alive can remember where they were that day. Tell me whether you were born or not, and then how old you were and where you were on September the 11th, 2001. I was in Covent Garden. My girlfriend worked at a pub on the Strand called the Duke of Wellington. Oh, let's go Slipstream. And I'm in a perfect nitro car. Right, remember those things. Now start my story. Yeah. So I was walking between the Strand and Covent Garden and start to see, I think I was with a friend called Max, and I start to see loads of people gathering outside pubs looking through the windows, and I think it's just football or something, but it's strange because it was sort of all of a sudden it wasn't there a minute ago, and then suddenly there's loads of people hanging outside the windows of things looking in. And I don't normally care about football, so I didn't really care what they were looking at, because I just assumed, oh, someone's scored a goal or someone's won a championship or something like that's happened. And I walked into this shopping centre, very small shopping centre, and had a sort of hallway area with 2 televisions up high on the wall near the ceiling, just normal small televisions. And you could see one of the towers on fire. And I'm looking at it, and you think it's a movie trailer or something. And just while I'm looking at it, the second plane, the other tower got hit by the second plane. And then the people are just talking, what's going on? Was it an accident? And you're like, one tower's on fire, a plane's just hit another tower. Your brain couldn't even process. In that time, in 2001, I was 19 years old. Everything had been so perfect, you couldn't process what was happening. Like, we'd had bombs from the IRA and simple things, but such a massive thing, it just didn't compute in my head. I think I then went down to the pub to see my girlfriend. She just carried on working, and then me and my friend went back to his house in Finsbury Park and just sat in the living room all day watching the news, digesting what was going on. I think just before we got back, or just as we got back, was probably about an hour, 45 minutes after the second plane hit. And then the towers fell, which left your jaw on the floor, because it just didn't even cross your mind as it's all happening, as the fire's raging, etc. It never crosses your mind that I'm in Go Slipstream, what car do I want to use? It never crossed anyone's mind that the towers might fall. Grenfell's just over the road from me. I can't think what car to use. It's Go Slipstream. My brain's gone blank about the game. I'm just going to use my 599. Yeah, on the day Grenfell burnt, I didn't see it at the night time. I was asleep. And I woke up in the morning and I could see the orange glow on the clouds and look across and see the tower just still. I can see the tower through one gap, but you couldn't really make out what it was. It was just this orange glow. And then above it, the smoke and the orange and that. And when Grenfell burnt, no one ever thought it would fall down, and even after, and that was after September 11th, and it didn't fall down. But and I'm not going to get into whether the towers fell down naturally or fell down naturally because of the planes or something more complicated happened. But anyway, September 11th. While this is all going on in Covent Garden, I'm trying to contact my dad because he worked in the Amex Tower at that time, which was in New York, and it's the building next to the Twin Towers. Obviously, I couldn't get through because none of the phones were working properly. Not just his phone, but any of the phones in England because people are overusing them trying to contact everyone. I was so far and I have no idea where my dad is, and it turns out he's not even in America, so it wasn't a problem. So the company he was working for at the time, Plat had 300 people in the tower, in terms of with some union brothers, people in the street with his wife and stuff. And even on that day, as we're watching all that stuff, none of the conversations ever turned to what it would do, how the world would change because of it. And I wish we could have seen that. I think it's probably the second worst, and only because of, not because of the events on the day, but knowing how it changed the world and how it impacted everything and made everything crap. It's like in my head, everything was peaking at the year 2000, like freedom, happiness, everything. And then that was the tool that they used to destroy that confidence that people had in themselves and made us again be slaves to the state. And now just because it didn't work enough, COVID's now the next reason that's going to be used, that is being used. Couldn't be bothered to change my night show. Can't go too fast into that corner. There was a programme on the TV recently about Grenfell, the Untold Story. And it was really interesting to me because it was about the refurbishment works Grenfell went through before the fire. And I've just been through the same process with the council, that same refurbishment work process. And seeing their frustration with the way it's the patronising way that you're told that there's these fake consultations where they pretend to listen to you and then completely ignore you and do what they want and then change everything and never tell you what's happening and then say you're consulted. It's this eternal loop and it's impossible to explain. And because of what happened at Grenfell, someone might actually see how this works and what happens and understand it and get to the bottom of it, because it's just the it's the council's genius process. It's the hundreds of years of evolution, or thousands of years, but hundreds of years of evolution of process within the council to come up with these mechanisms that mean that nothing ever fails. They'll have never done anything wrong or get in trouble. They'll pretend they've got their process, and the process protects the humans from any error. And it protects them from really having to do anything for anyone ever. It's... Like I've spoken before about getting charged £20,000 to paint a hallway, and we're going to get charged £20,000 to paint a certain hallway, and the paint 6 months after is already peeling off in every area, and the people that painted it are actually blaming the paint, even though they bought the paint, and they want money to paint it again because there was something wrong with the paint that we paid them to buy, that they bought, but we now have to pay for them to buy more paint and pay them to paint it again. And the council just sign it off. Okay then, because we've got to fix it. It's... In Grenfell, they were making complaints about their safety because of boilers and things like that. And every time they made a complaint, the guy would go, "Oh, you need to give me details about this complaint so I can investigate it and come back to you." And it's like, "I've told you." He's like, "Oh no, until you give me details, I can't." And then when they get given the details, they'll just be like, "Oh, we haven't finished evaluating the details to come to a decision yet, and it wouldn't be right to comment further." It's just, and they investigate themselves on top of that. They even appoint people to not pretend to be other people, but they appoint people and give them positions, and they come to talk to you as residents, and those people give the impression that they're there to support you, but ultimately they're just there to manage you as well, to control you from ever actually talking to the right people, but also to always be able to say they were in conversation with you, so anything they do is okay because you were told even though you weren't told, you were consulted even though you weren't consulted. If you are consulted and you say anything, nothing, that doesn't... What does it mean to be consulted if what you say, if nothing of what you say ever gets done? It's just you go to these meetings and they hear you, and then they just delete all that from their brains, and then they write down, "Right, we've consulted the residents, that's done." How's that a consultation? Just letting people talk and ignoring them. Into Gold League. Enough of these silver cars. Silver League's such a hurdle if you're new to the game. It's deliberate by Gameloft to make that hurdle. It's sometimes very hard to get a Silver League car that can take you into Gold League. But you have to just keep playing and wait for the cars that come up. Take whatever you can get. Oh, is that an actual new rim for my Chiron? Sweet, I'll look at it later. I thought it had nearly all the body parts. You have to take every C-Class car you can get for free and wait for the hunts for the good ones. The H2 and the NSX were brilliant. The NSX was the top car. It was like one of the new featured cars. It wasn't there when the game started, and then it was one of the new featured cars. And it's still a good car, even though it's all the way down here. And the Artega, the H2, the Viper, they're all very useful until you get some of the premium ones. What am I doing? Playing Gold League. Just going to carry on through. There's no KDs on this, so I don't... There's not... The races are all vanilla as such. Is this B class? What shall I use? The Apollo or the DBS? Or the Enzo? Or the Porsche? No, I'm going to go with my DBS because I like taking it out. And it's the type of car I'd like to sit in real life to drive. It's the type of car I'd like to look, that I think I look good in. That's what I mean. It's the style of car that suits my character. Give me some stream, I want a nitro surf. Number one's quite a way ahead. Get his stream. Did he? No, he's still there. My screen's dirty on my phone. The swipe's getting unpredictable, like risky that it might not happen. Good race. What car was it? Please don't be an Apollo, yeah. It's so boring. I really hate the Apollo. I don't like the shape of it. Puts me off wanting to drive it, just the look of it. Let's do a race in it though. What's the speed difference? 374. Ooh, 355. Waiting deliberately. Thank you. Stay low. Damn, my paint job's bad on this car. Wait a second. I'm pausing. Tone 1's fine. Oh, tone 2's fine. Tone 1's not. Tone 1 needs to be. Okay. And the rims need to change because they need to clash with that colour. Okay, that's better for now. It's still not right, but I can drive it now. I've got to paint it. I just don't want to sit and record 3 minutes of me going, to look at the paint job to try and work out what, oh, it looks so bad. What have I done? It's better, oh no, oh. That purple's so vivid, oh. Sorry, I'm completely distracted now by the colours, like I can't drive the car. Go left. I'm waiting. Oh no, I lost the swipe. I should have cleaned the screen earlier when I said the screen was dirty. Come on, don't lose it for that, no. Oh well. Right, if I pause and try and clean the screen though, I might accidentally press stop on the recording. And I'm doing a continuous shot like old boy. And it's gonna start losing responsive. Those wheels actually are too yellow. They make the blue look green. That would be better. I hear from some people that I think someone else is driving around with my name with a fake club that looks like Mad Asylum, and they might be cheating as well. It's not me. If they've copied all my paint jobs on my car, then I'm very impressed. Otherwise, I couldn't care less if someone's pretending to be me. But please don't think you raced me if you raced that person. Oh no, the Slipstream. I'm giving it all away. The guy behind me is glued to me now. And I really need to switch to tilt for the last jump. Otherwise, I'm going to be at a disadvantage. You can go in a straight line easily with tilt on that last barrel ramp. Touch drive will make you do a funny S-bend in the air. Oh! Are they going to reappear? Oh, I hate that. I don't want to go right in this car. I'm not used to it. Actually, it could have, not could have. Whoa! I'm coming. Come on. Into Platinum League. Now I should end the video before my phone explodes. Doing 27 minute continuous shot recording in 1080p, 60 frames a second. Good luck, guys. I'm madder than you.